Hey guys, this is Julie from Crafty Beach on YouTube, and I'm going to be making a large winter sign. Now, only one of the long signs that I could find for winter at Dollar Tree, but that's okay because I'm going to use two that I had left over from fall. It can be any of the long board signs. What I'm going to do is, using some Dollar Tree wood rulers, I'm going to put three signs together to make a really large sign for my entryway. Now, as you can see, some of these have cutouts of pumpkins. I'm just going to cover those up with winter items, so it's no big deal. I do have one, though, that has a snowflake cutout, so if you can get all of them with snowflakes, that would be cute, too. And I am just going to use that to help brace it together here in the back. I used two of the wood rulers, and then I'm also going to staple on some twine that I tied there at the ends to make a hanger for the back. Now what I want to do is do a hand painted sign for this. I do want it to be a nice blue color for winter, and I want to do like a coastal winter sign on this. So the first thing I want to do is just paint it white so they're all the same color, kind of like a blank canvas. For the word, I'm going to be using one of these wood words from the Dollar Tree that says "Let It Snow." I just filled in the hanger with a little bit of spackle, and then using some white acrylic paint, I'm going to paint this all over. Now, if you know me, I do not want to let it snow. I live here in Florida, so we're going to be changing that up a little bit. You'll see. For the sign itself, I use this beautiful Caribbean blue color acrylic paint to paint all over my signs. Now that I did a coat of white first, it makes them all look the same color, even though some of them were black. This sign is so big, I had to kind of flip it over to be able to show you the whole thing here on my workspace. But at the bottom, I thought I would get a little bit of an ombre effect. So what I did was I mixed a little bit of ivory in there and made it a little bit lighter. So the bottom half of the sign will be a little bit lighter blue. And then mixing the two colors together here in the middle, I just blend it together and give me a soft winter ombre effect. And very subtle, but I think it turned out really cool. Now, you know I don't want it to let it snow, so I went to my Cricut and I cut out somewhere else out of some stencil vinyl, and using my favorite paper, transfer paper. I also get that on Amazon. I get both those products on Amazon. I am going to make a stencil so we can make it say, "Let it snow somewhere else," because that's more like me, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. I love this. This stencil vinyl works great. Even if you have a freshly painted sign like this, it doesn't take the paint off. So I just use a makeup sponge and some white acrylic paint and sponge all over. I did go over it twice to make it a bold white against that light blue, peeling off my stencil vinyl. And then don't forget to weed out all the little parts of your letters, and you can kind of touch it up a little bit if you have any bleeding. But I like that coastal farmhouse look, so I kind of like that look a little bit. I even go back and distress mine a little bit more with some of the white paint, just wiping off any excess. Down here I have a pumpkin to cover, so I'm going to cover it with a seashell. I just glued that on with some hot glue, and we're also going to hot glue on the "Let It Snow" sign here above where we painted somewhere else. Now the top does still have like a pumpkin cut out there. No big deal. We will cover that up with something beachy. I have a sand dollar. You can get those the fake ones at Dollar Tree, but I had some real ones, and then some more seashells here at the bottom. To frame the entire sign out, I'm going to use some of Dollar Tree's white nautical rope, and just using a piece, I'm going to go around and glue it, giving me a nice rope border. What this does is it makes the sign look framed. It also makes it look thicker because these Dollar Tree signs can be kind of thin, you know. So I'm just gluing it to the very edge. One package was not enough because I told you this was a really big sign I was doing for my entryway. And this is how you can, use some Dollar Tree products to make a big sign like this. Now I do need some snowflakes too, so I used some of their wooden snowflakes, and I'm just going to paint them white. I just filled in the hole with a little bit of spackle on those, and we can use those for further decor for the "Let It Snow Somewhere Else." I love the combination of the snowflakes and the shells. I think it's so much fun. What do you think?